You've seen him before. The guy who walks in, says almost nothing, yet somehow becomes the center of gravity in the room. While most men rely on looks, money, or empty charm, there are a rare few who use something far more powerful: the way they interact. You don't attract the right woman by accident. You do it by mastering who you are and how you move through the world around her. Ever wondered why certain men seem to captivate women effortlessly, without needing to be the tallest, the richest, or the most outgoing? There's something deeper at play, something most men overlook completely. It's not about trying harder, it's about showing up differently. In this video, we're diving into 10 of the most powerful social skills a man can develop. The kind of skills that don't just spark interest, but create a pull she can't explain and won't forget. These aren't shallow tricks or pickup tactics. These are foundational qualities: the way you listen, the way you lead, the way you move, and the way you handle yourself when the world gets loud. Each of these 10 skills is rooted in clarity, composure, and the kind of masculine energy that doesn't chase validation. It commands respect, not through aggression, not through performance, but through presence. And behind this all is one timeless philosophy: Stoicism. Now, before you tune out, thinking Stoicism sounds cold or outdated, let me tell you something most modern men miss. At its core, Stoicism is about mastering your inner world so you can influence the outer one with calm, strength, and purpose. And nothing is more attractive to a woman than a man who doesn't just know what he wants, but who can move through life with quiet certainty. In a world full of noise, men like that are rare, and rare is irresistible. So if you're tired of being overlooked, tired of trying to prove yourself, and you're ready to become the kind of man women naturally prioritize, not forget, then watch closely. Because these 10 skills, when practiced with intention, won't just make women pay attention. They'll make the right ones stay. Let's begin. Skill 1. Emotional control in every relationship, especially in the early stages. Your emotions are silently speaking before your words ever do. And whether you realize it or not, how you handle those emotions is painting a picture in her mind. It tells her whether you're a man she can trust, or one she should quietly walk away from. There's no denying it. Relationships are emotionally charged. There's excitement, anticipation, chemistry, but there's also misunderstanding, jealousy, insecurity, triggers you didn't know you had until she hits one. And in that moment, the pause before your reaction, everything is decided. Because here's the truth: emotional control isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. It makes her feel safe, respected, and drawn to your energy. Not because you're perfect, but because you're in command of yourself when it matters most. Now let's be clear. Emotional control isn't about becoming numb or detached. It's not about ignoring what you feel or pretending you don't care. It's about discipline, choosing your response instead of being dragged by your impulses. It's about being the guy who doesn't flinch when a situation gets heated, the one who takes a breath, processes the moment, and leads with composure instead of emotional chaos. When she says something that hits a nerve, maybe a passing mention of an ex or a joke that lands wrong, your reaction tells her everything. Will you take the bait and let insecurity drive your words? Or will you lean back, smile, and ask with genuine curiosity, what was that about? That calm response? It's disarming, it's attractive, and most importantly, it shows her that you're not ruled by emotion, you're rooted in self-respect. Imagine this You're on a date. Things are going well. Then out of nowhere, she brings up a guy from her past. Most men tense up. They grow quiet or defensive. But you stay cool. You ask, what kind of things did you two enjoy doing together? Not from jealousy, but from calm interest. She's not just impressed by the question, she's surprised by your emotional maturity. You've shown her that her past doesn't shake you. You've shown her that you're secure within yourself. This kind of emotional steadiness is incredibly rare and deeply memorable. It tells her that you're not the type to snap, sulk, or spiral. You're not unpredictable. You're not fragile. You're composed. And in a world where people are constantly reacting, overthinking, and losing themselves in the heat of the moment, your ability to stay grounded will stand out like a lighthouse in a storm. That's what makes emotional control more than just a nice trait. It's a quiet power, and it's one of the first things a woman feels when she's around a man who truly knows himself. So the next time your feelings start to rise, pause, take a breath, and choose your response like a man who respects himself first. Because in that moment, she's not just seeing your reaction, she's seeing who you are. Skill 2. The power of staying composed. Life doesn't always play fair. Neither do first dates, text threads, or weekend plans. Things go wrong, often in small, inconvenient, sometimes embarrassing ways. But it's not the chaos that defines you, it's your reaction to it. In fact, one of the most attractive things a man can do isn't heroic, loud, or flashy. It's simply this: keep his composure when others would lose theirs. That's when she notices something different about you. Let's say you're out to eat. The food takes too long. The server messes up your order. You're seated too close to a loud group. Most guys start to complain, roll their eyes, maybe get short with the staff or even with her. But you lean back, smile, and say, "At least we've got more time to talk." Right there, you've shown her more than patience. You've shown leadership of energy. You've shown that your emotional state isn't held hostage by circumstances. And that's rare. Composure is about staying centered in a world that keeps trying to pull you off balance. And when a woman is with a man who doesn't flinch at the unexpected, she feels something deeper than attraction. She feels safe. It doesn't mean you're fake happy when something's wrong. It means you choose to respond with poise, not panic. You own the moment, even when it doesn't go your way. Let's go a little deeper. Imagine she's late to meet you. Maybe she had trouble finding parking. Maybe she got held up. You could make her feel guilty with a subtle jab, or let your irritation show. Or you could say, "No worries, I'm glad you're here." Simple, grounded, classy. She won't forget it. Why? Because most men let small inconveniences dictate their behavior. They reveal how fragile their self-control is. But your grace under pressure sends a different message. You're safe with me, even when the world isn't perfect. Composure also speaks volumes when things get socially uncomfortable. Maybe someone makes a weird comment. Maybe she says something that throws you off. Maybe the vibe shifts suddenly. You don't get awkward. You don't collapse into silence. You hold the frame. Because you've learned that the moment you stay calm, while others react emotionally, that's when you stand out. You become the quiet center in a noisy world. That's not just attractive, that's magnetic. So here's the key. Next time things don't go your way, don't rush to fix, control, or vent. Breathe, observe, lead. Because how you act when things go wrong will tell her everything she needs to know about who you are when it matters. Skill 3. Gratitude. There's a presence some men carry that instantly changes the energy in the room. It's not because they're loud, flashy, or trying to prove anything. It's because they've found something rare they're at peace with. What they have. They walk with lightness, not from having less pressure, but from carrying it differently. And that calm, steady energy, it draws people in, especially women. At the heart of that energy is a simple but powerful principle: gratitude. Gratitude isn't just saying thank you. It's how you perceive the world and how you show up inside it. It's how you choose to see what's already working instead of obsessing over what's missing. And in a culture obsessed with chasing the next thing, that grounded appreciation becomes magnetic, because when a man is genuinely grateful, he's not signaling passivity, he's signaling inner fulfillment. He's saying, I can enjoy this moment, even if it's not perfect. I don't need more to be enough. That's rare, that's powerful, and it makes the people around him feel lighter, safer, freer, including her. But let's be clear, gratitude doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending life is easy. It's not blind optimism, it's resilience. It's the strength to face setbacks and still smile. It's laughing when things fall through. It's adjusting the sails without complaining about the wind. Let's say your plans with her change. Last minute, the dinner spot you picked is unexpectedly closed. You don't groan, you don't blame, you turn and say, well, looks like we just earned ourselves an unexpected adventure. That line, it's simple, but it tells her so much. It tells her you're adaptable, that you don't unravel when life surprises you, that you're not only emotionally stable, you can find joy in imperfection. Women aren't just drawn to confident men. They're drawn to men who make them feel lighter. Men whose presence says, even if things go sideways, I'm still good, we're still good. That kind of steadiness is more than attractive. It's a form of leadership. Because gratitude isn't passive, it's active inner strength. When things go wrong, will you spiral into frustration? Or will you smile and say, we'll make the best of this too? When you embody that attitude, she doesn't just enjoy being around you. She feels safe within your worldview. She knows she won't be blamed. She won't have to lift your mood. Instead, she gets to relax into your calm. And that, more than anything, makes her want to be near you. Gratitude changes your emotional posture. Positivity isn't about pretending everything's great. It's about choosing where to place your focus, especially when things aren't. And when she sees you handle life with grace, with humor, with steady optimism, she doesn't just think, you're mature. She starts to feel better just by being around you. That's impact. That's emotional strength. That's masculinity that doesn't need to be loud, because it's felt in the quietest moments. So the next time life throws a curveball, in traffic, in conversation, in plans gone sideways, don't react. Redirect. Smile. Adapt. Move forward lightly, because the man who can find joy in imperfection becomes the one she associates with peace. And in a chaotic world, that's exactly the kind of man she wants to hold on to. Skill. 4. Continuous self-improvement. There's something quietly powerful about a man who's moving forward, not sprinting to impress, not rushing to prove, but growing deliberately from the inside out. Most people are stuck in autopilot. Same routines, same conversations, same days, slightly rearranged. They repeat comfort until it becomes identity. And slowly that comfort turns into stagnation. But when a man chooses growth, when he makes it a lifestyle instead of a phase, something shifts. You feel it in his presence. You hear it in his voice. And yes, women see it too, because growth isn't loud, but it's magnetic. A man who's focused on becoming better, one intentional step at a time, doesn't need to announce it. He's not trying to impress. He's simply becoming. And that becoming is what sets him apart. Growth makes you dynamic. It gives you depth. It tells her that you're not stuck in who you used to be, that you're in the middle of a story still being written. That's irresistible. But let's be clear. Prioritizing growth doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you're aware of where you are, honest about where you want to go, and committed to moving toward it, especially when no one's watching. Whether you're learning a new language, building a business, getting stronger in the gym, or reading to expand your worldview, you're sending a clear message. I refuse to stay the same. And that message, it's rare, because most people stop growing once they're comfortable, but you stay curious, you stay humble, and you keep pushing. Imagine you're telling her about a challenge you're facing, something that excites and intimidates you at the same time. Instead of bragging, you say, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm loving the process. That one sentence, it speaks volumes. It tells her that you're disciplined, that you value the journey, that you're grounded enough to admit you're a work in progress and strong enough to keep showing up anyway. That kind of man, he doesn't just inspire desire, he earns respect. Because growth isn't just about goals, it's about momentum. And that momentum is what makes you captivating. Every time she sees a new layer to you, a new insight, a new habit, a new lesson you've internalized, she's reminded that being with you means being with someone who's always evolving. That means she'll never fully figure you out. There's always something new to explore. And that ongoing discovery keeps her engaged. Even more importantly, growth prepares you for life. When setbacks come, and they will, you're not shaken. You're already training for them. When opportunities show up, you're ready because you've built the muscle of stepping up, not shrinking back. You don't just handle life, you meet it head on. And when she sees you not only pursuing your own path, but inspiring others along the way, something in her shifts. She doesn't just admire you. She starts to imagine herself beside you, not because she wants to slow you down, but because she sees herself growing with you. That's the difference. A man chasing results is impressive. A man obsessed with the process, he's magnetic. So, don't just work toward goals to check off boxes. Pursue growth because it aligns with who you are and who you refuse to remain. When you make growth a way of life, you don't need to tell her you're the kind of man worth choosing. She'll already know because she can feel that you're becoming someone most men never even try to be. Skill 5. Time management. There's one resource every man has in equal supply: time. But what separates powerful men from forgettable ones is how they choose to spend it. A man who guards his time, who treats it as a non-renewable currency, sends a signal louder than words ever could. I respect myself. Because how you treat your time reflects how you see yourself. When you give it away freely, with no filter, no intention, no boundary, you're not just wasting hours. You're sending a silent message. I don't value where I'm going enough to protect what gets me there. But when you're selective, when you choose how, when, and with whom you spend your time, everything about you changes. You move with more purpose. You speak with more weight. You attract people who recognize value because you've already set the tone by how you manage your own. Women especially feel this difference. They feel it when you don't drop everything to meet them last minute. They feel it when you don't scroll endlessly or respond instantly. They feel it when you say, with grounded confidence, "I'd love to see you, but I've got something important I need to finish." Let's pick a time that works for both of us. That moment, it's not rejection, it's reverence for your purpose, your boundaries, and your path. And it tells her something most men never do, that your time is earned, not assumed. But let's be clear, valuing your time doesn't mean being busy for the sake of looking important. It doesn't mean acting cold, unavailable, or manufacturing scarcity. It means being intentional. It means knowing what matters to you and refusing to betray it for short-term approval. It's about building a life with direction and only inviting people into it who honor the same pace. Let's say you've got a morning routine, reading, training, or working on a side project. She texts asking if you want to skip it and grab coffee. You could drop everything, thinking it'll score points. Or you could say, "That sounds great, but I've got something I always do in the mornings. I'll be free after." That's not arrogance, that's alignment. And alignment is attractive because it shows her you're not floating through life, waiting for meaning to happen. You're creating it every hour, every decision. This isn't just about romance, it's about self-respect, because a man who's intentional with his time is intentional with his mind, his energy, and his relationships. He's not reactive. He's not scattered, he's centered, and that kind of energy draws people in without effort. And here's the beautiful part. When you do spend time with her, it will feel more valuable. She'll feel more appreciated, because she'll know that time wasn't just convenient, it was chosen. And we all feel the difference between someone who's present because they had nothing else to do, and someone who's present because they made the space on purpose. So protect your time, build structure around what makes you better, say no to the meaningless so you can say yes to the moments that matter. When she sees you respecting your own path, she'll respect it too, and she won't want to distract you from it. She'll want to walk alongside it. That's how time becomes more than scheduling. It becomes leadership. Skill 6. Be selective with your love and energy. There's a truth about value that never changes. No matter how modern the dating world gets, what is given too easily is rarely treasured, and nowhere is this more obvious than in how you offer your time, your attention, and your affection. Most men give too much, too soon, thinking that if they just show her how devoted they are, she'll see their worth and stay. But ironically, the opposite usually happens. When affection is constant, when attention is unlimited, it becomes background noise. It loses its impact, not because she's ungrateful, but because we're wired to appreciate what we have to earn. Being selective with your affection isn't about playing games. It's not cold, it's not manipulative, it's intentional. It's knowing that your energy has weight, and that by giving it away freely, you're not showing generosity. You're signaling neediness. When you give her your full emotional investment from the beginning, without letting anything unfold naturally, you remove the tension that attraction needs to breathe. She doesn't feel excited. She feels expected. And expectation too early is pressure, not chemistry. Now imagine a different approach. You don't message constantly. You're responsive, not reactive. You're present when you're with her, but you're also fully present in your own life. You pursue your goals. You prioritize your friendships. You make time for yourself and the time you give her. It's not because you're free, it's because you chose to make space. That's the difference. Let's say you're texting back and forth. She asks, "Want to hang out tomorrow?" But you already plan to hit the gym and catch up on a personal project. Instead of dropping everything, you say, "I've got some things lined up, but I'd love to see you later this week." How's Friday? That answer speaks volumes. It says, "I have a life, I have structure, and if you want to be part of it, you'll need to meet me where I'm already headed, not expect me to stop and orbit around you." It sets the tone without confrontation. It creates anticipation, and it sends a message, not just to her, but to yourself. Your time is precious, and your affection is earned. This space between moments is where desire grows, because when she knows she can't have you all the time, she begins to value the time she does get. She becomes more present, more invested, not because you manipulated her, but because you respected yourself. You created a balance. You allowed mystery to breathe. You gave her the chance to reach for you instead of always reaching first. And when she does, when she realizes your attention isn't a given but a gift, it deepens the connection, because now being with you feels like something she gets to experience, not something she can assume. So don't withhold affection to punish. Don't play hot and cold. Just choose your energy with clarity, with discipline, with intent. And in doing so, you'll become the man whose presence is never taken for granted, not because you're distant, but because you're discerning. Skill 7. Listen actively. Here's a quiet truth about connection. She's not drawn to the man who talks the most. She's drawn to the man who makes her feel the most heard. And that's where most men fail. Not because they're unkind or selfish, but because they mistake attention for connection. They think sharing every detail about their lives will impress her. They believe being interesting is the same as being magnetic. It's not, because what she truly wants, especially early on, isn't your life story. It's to feel seen, to feel that when she speaks, someone is actually there, not just hearing her voice, but meeting her with presence. That's what active listening is. And while it sounds simple, few men ever truly master it. Active listening isn't about nodding or saying, "That's cool." It's about showing up fully. It's about putting your phone down, holding eye contact, responding with curiosity instead of autopilot. It's not just asking, "How was your day?" It's asking, "What was the hardest part of it?" Or, "What made you smile today?" It's going deeper, not to impress, but to understand. Because when you ask questions like that, you're telling her, "I'm here, I care, and I'm paying attention to the parts of you no one else sees." Let's be real. Most guys forget what she said 2 days ago. But if you remember that she had an important client meeting, and the next time you talk, you say, "Hey, how did that presentation go?" That one small sentence makes a massive impact. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's rare. She'll feel like she matters, like her world isn't invisible. And that feeling of being seen without having to shout is something she will never forget. Imagine you're on a date. She's telling you about her love for cooking. You could say, "That's cool." Or you could say, "What's the one dish that always brings you back to childhood?" One response ends the conversation, the other deepens it. When you listen like this, when you follow her thread with patience, presence, and thoughtful curiosity, you're not just filling time. You're building trust. You're giving her the space to open up, slowly, naturally, and safely. And here's what makes it even more powerful. When a man listens without interrupting, without turning the spotlight back on himself, without rushing the moment, he becomes a refuge in a world full of noise. She feels calmer around you, more open, more feminine, because she senses that she doesn't need to perform to keep your attention. Your attention is already present, already grounded, already earned through stillness. That's what separates you. So next time she speaks, don't just listen to reply. Don't search for your moment to jump in. Just be there. Give her the rare gift of undivided presence. Remember the small things. Ask the second layer question, and let her feel what so many overlook, that when she talks, you're not somewhere else. You're right there, with her for real. And that, more than any line or story you could ever tell, will stay with her. Skill 8. Speak less, see more. Here's a truth most men miss completely. She's not impressed by the man who talks the most. She's intrigued by the one she hasn't fully figured out. In a world where everyone's trying to be the loudest, the most charming, the most interesting in the room, the man who knows how to hold back just enough becomes unforgettable. Silence, when used with intention, isn't empty. It's magnetic. It creates space, and in that space, curiosity blooms. Too many men make the mistake of trying to fill every silence with stories, jokes, facts, opinions, thinking it's the only way to hold her attention. But the truth is, speaking less often makes her lean in more. It gives her room to reveal herself. It gives you space to actually see her, how she responds, what lights her up, what makes her pause. And that kind of awareness, it's rare, it's powerful, it's deeply attractive. Observation isn't passive. It's presence sharpened into awareness. It's listening with your eyes as much as your ears. It's paying attention to the words she chooses and the ones she doesn't. Let's say she mentions offhand that she loves hiking. You don't interrupt with your own stories. You file it away. And 2 weeks later, you suggest a hike at a trail you've researched just for her. That one move tells her you were listening without trying to impress, that you notice details, that your attention has weight. When you speak less and observe more, you're not just being polite. You're gathering insight. You're reading emotional rhythms. You're understanding her world before ever trying to insert yourself into it. This builds something few men ever create: trust without pressure. Because when you let her talk, uninterrupted, unrushed, without trying to one-up or relate, you give her a rare experience. She feels valued for who she is, not just how she makes you feel. That's when she starts to open up. That's when she begins to see you not as another guy trying to impress her, but as a man strong enough to listen, composed enough to wait, and confident enough to let your silence speak for you. You don't need to dominate the room. You need to own the moment with your stillness. Imagine she's telling you about a trip she took abroad. Most guys would jump in. "Oh, I went to Spain too. Let me tell you about..." But you smile, you nod, you ask, "What was the most unexpected part of the trip?" You're not inserting your story, you're guiding hers. And at some point, she'll turn the question around. "What about you? Where have you been?" But now, she's genuinely interested because you didn't push. You created space, and in that space, connection formed naturally. So here's the takeaway. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't rush to perform. Don't speak just to fill the air. Instead, lean back. Pay attention. Let her reveal herself, not because you asked her to, but because she wants to. That's the kind of man who becomes magnetic, not through volume, but through vision skill. 9. Cultivate mystery. There's a reason why some men linger in a woman's mind long after the date ends. It's not because they were loud. It's not because they said the perfect things. It's because she walked away, knowing there was more to him and wanting to discover it. That's the quiet, undeniable power of mystique. Mystique isn't about playing hard to get. It's not about withholding or pretending. It's about pacing. It's about revealing yourself slowly, intentionally, with quiet confidence. Because when everything about you is laid out in the first few conversations, there's nothing left to unfold. And in the absence of discovery, interest fades. Mystique is about letting her feel that she hasn't fully figured you out. It's creating that subtle tension where she's intrigued, engaged, and just curious enough to keep leaning in. And here's the beautiful irony. It's not about hiding anything. It's about knowing that not everything needs to be shared right away. You might think full transparency builds faster connection, but often what it builds is predictability, and predictability kills excitement. Imagine she asks about your weekend. Most men would give a full rundown, where they went, who they saw, what they ate. You don't need to do that. You say something simple. It was a good reset, spent time offline, got into a few things I've been meaning to work on. It is vague enough to leave her curious, but grounded enough to feel real. She'll want to know more. She'll ask. And now, she's chasing the unknown in you, not because you're hiding, but because you're not in a rush to be consumed. This pacing doesn't make you distant, it makes you memorable. Let's take another example. She asks what you're passionate about. Instead of unloading your life mission in a monologue, say, I've got a few things I'm exploring. I like challenges that force me to level up. Now you've said something, but you've also said almost nothing. And that tension, that slight pull, that's where intrigue lives. Mystique is about trusting that you don't have to fill every silence or answer every question in full. You don't need to prove yourself through full exposure. You prove yourself through restraint, through a calm confidence that says, I'm not afraid of being known, but I don't give everything to everyone. That self-possession is attractive in ways that are hard to explain, but easy to feel. When you practice this skill, every interaction becomes a slow reveal. Every conversation adds a layer, and the more she leans in, the more you show. Bit by bit. Not all at once, because what's discovered slowly becomes valued deeply. So cultivate mystery. Say less than expected. Reveal only what serves the moment. And let her uncover you, not through performance, but through earned intimacy. That's not manipulation, that's maturity. The kind that doesn't chase interest, but lets it grow. Skill 10. Lead with assertive social presence. There's a different kind of leadership, one that doesn't need titles, volume, or control. It shows up in how a man carries himself, how he enters a room, how people naturally look to him when there's uncertainty. It's not about being the loudest voice. It's about being the calmest presence. Assertive social presence is what sets magnetic men apart from the rest. It's the ability to lead not through ego, but through clarity, to take initiative without dominating, to set the tone without saying much at all. And here's the truth. Most men shrink in group settings. They fade, defer, wait to be told what's next. They fear saying the wrong thing, so they say nothing. They think being chill means being passive. But a man who leads socially does something rare. He owns his space. That doesn't mean controlling others. It means knowing how to read the room and adjust the energy. It means taking the seat that gives you the best view, not the one closest to the corner. It means asking the waiter a question confidently, holding eye contact, and thanking him with real presence. This kind of leadership is felt in how you interact, not just in what you say. Let's say you're out with a group. Maybe she's with you, maybe she's watching. Something awkward happens. A misstep, a tense silence. Most guys laugh nervously or freeze, but you smile, you redirect. You make a graceful joke or ask the question no one thought to ask. Suddenly, people feel more at ease. You didn't try to control the room. You simply became the one it started to move around. That's the power of assertive presence. It also shows in how you lead one-on-one. When you're with her, are you guiding the moment? Do you make decisions effortlessly? Where to go? What to order? When to move on? Not to impress her, but to make her feel safe in your frame. She doesn't want to plan everything. She doesn't want to carry the conversation or read your mind. She wants to feel your presence, grounded, focused, and clear. When you lead, you give her the gift of relaxing. You remove the guesswork. You create structure, not stiffness. Direction, not pressure. This doesn't mean you never ask for her input, but it means you're not afraid to be decisive. And decisiveness is magnetic because it says, I know who I am, I know what I want, and I'm not waiting for permission to move toward it. Assertive presence doesn't need to push. It simply leads with calm energy, with subtle control, with unwavering clarity, in every group, in every moment, in every relationship. Be the one who sets the tone without ever needing to raise your voice. That's not dominance, that's direction. And it's one of the rarest, most respected forms of attraction there is. So here you are, 10 skills, 10 quiet weapons, not tricks, not tactics, but real tools to help you step into who you were meant to be. Maybe some of them challenge the way you see yourself. Maybe others reminded you of the man you've always wanted to become. Good. Because the truth is, most men go through life waiting to be chosen, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for something outside of them to finally give them permission to be powerful. But that moment isn't coming because it was never out there to begin with. It starts inside, with how you show up, how you listen, how you lead, how you carry yourself when no one's watching, and how you speak even when you don't say a word. These 10 skills won't just make women more drawn to you, they'll make you more drawn to yourself, to your mission, to your worth, to the calm certainty of knowing. You don't have to chase anything when you've become someone worth following. So don't try to master everything overnight. Start small, choose one skill, practice it, live it, then add another, let it compound, like interest, like strength, like presence. Because this isn't a performance, this is a transformation. And if you've made it this far, it means something. In you is already shifting. Don't let that fade. Honor it. Feed it, build on it. The man you want to be, he's not some distant version of you. He's already in there, waiting for you to stop negotiating with who you used to be. Start today and let the world feel the difference without you having to say a word.